The following program contains names, places, and events that have been anonymized or fictionalized for the purposes of protection and safety. The following program is provided for entertainment purposes only, and any commentary from the hosts are strictly conjecture and should not be held as making any definitive statements about the truth or identity of any particular individuals or circumstances. If you or a loved one are involved in an abusive relationship, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1 800 799 7233 for support.
Happy Dating Detectives Monday!
Hello, everybody. We have a two-parter. I'm getting it out of the way up front, but it's
Sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry anymore for the two-parters.
No, not at all, because it's such a good story and it's a long story and it's gonna,
Piss you off.
piss you off.
You're gonna need the break. You're gonna need the reprieve for a little bit, but it is definitely an interesting story. But it's another one that this is a female dogfish we have.
Yep.
And we don't get many of those. So this is interesting. But this story is incredible nonetheless, because it just goes to show you that you're not alone no matter what you're going through.
I really love Kayla. She was very passionate about sharing her story for that reason exactly. She was like, I've listened to a lot of the episodes and I just want to make sure that people who go through the same kind of mental health struggles that I went through after my dogfish story can hear that they're not alone. So there is mental health stuff that comes up, some suicidal ideation, and we talk about that. And it's like very brave of her to share because of how many people have been that low. And she's doing better. But what a journey she had to go on to get there. So we'll throw it to Kayla soon. We have Patreon going on as always, $5 a month if you want some bonus episodes. We also meet and talk about books. We have a book club. We just chat in general with you guys more on Patreon. We're gonna
or sometimes TV club.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna meet and talk about Tell Me Lies, the TV show. We haven't set a date yet, but we're gonna do like a Zoom sesh about that.
Dude, I caught up with it and I'm like, what?
Are you caught up?
Yeah.
Steven, I want to
fucking Steven.
Oh, I can't say what I want to do on recording. Anyway, so join Patreon, and then there's $9 a month if you want all of that, plus all of our episodes without ads.
Yeah.
No big deal. Any other announcements before we give it to Kayla?
I don't think so. I just, as always, I really want to thank you guys for being here and supporting our show. And the more you guys share your stories, the more you're helping other people. Every single episode, we get a message from someone saying, thank you. This resonated with me for one reason or another. And this made me feel like I wasn't alone. And you're just growing this community of people who really just need to feel less alone. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our Patreoners. We really appreciate you. We are so glad to have you here, Kayla. Thank you for being
Kayla.
here.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
We would absolutely love it if you take us on your journey. You have the floor.
So the whole story starts back at the middle of 2019. I had just moved to North Carolina after finishing college, and I needed to find a job in my area. So as I moved down, I got an interview with a really great company. The guy that interviewed me, his name was Martin. And when I got hired, there was a director above him. Her name was Erin, and didn't really have a lot of interaction with her. After I ended up getting hired for this job, I found out she actually did not want to hire me. And it was all Martin.
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was young. I was right out of college. I had no experience. So I can understand
it. Wasn't personal. It was just like,
just,
I don't like her.
Yeah, no, it was just like, oh, she's like a kid. Like, why would we hire her kind of thing? But Martin did fight for me, and I ended up loving that job. Still love that company.
Because he liked you.
Yes.
I like it.
Long story short, like I said, she didn't like me. She basically acted like I was invisible. She was not in the same office as us. So a lot of the time she would just pop in here and there. And when she would pop in, would not pay any attention to me. Acted like I did not exist. Like to the point she had to cross past my office to get to Martin's office and would just walk by it without saying anything. So it was awkward for a while, but is what it is. I found out that she was actually married with 2 kids. So it kind of made sense. We were in very different life points. I'm just starting my career. She had her career, didn't really want to be friends with me or whatnot, which is fine.
You can still say hi. I
I
don't
don't
know.
disagree. So, like I said, loved the job. I really did like it. And Aaron and I didn't interact a lot, but Martin and I became the best of friends. And I don't know that it's important or not, but he was gay and I'm also a lesbian. So we kind of bonded over that. We always called each other like the gay HR. So
Oh.
it was like a little union there. So after about a year of me working there, Erin goes around, which is my director. She's going around telling everyone she's getting a divorce and that her mom died and her husband cheated on her.
Oh, bless. They come in threes. Hey, just for, I guess, context, or can you share what kind of job this is that you're doing each day?
I'm an HR assistant. So it's a lot of just hiring people in, going through resumes, a lot of administrative stuff, payroll stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So for a solid, I'd say 6 months, she's the Wicked Witch of the West. Nobody wants to talk to her. She's going through and she's taking it out on everybody. Like to the point where I was like, when she would come, I was so happy she wasn't talking to me. Like that, those were the days where I was like, I'm going to hide under my desk so she doesn't see me.
My goodness.
It was rough. She ends up telling all of us on the team that she's selling her house that her husband and her kids had together and she's going to buy a new house on her own. This is her own thing. She's building it. She's like, I'm going to be a badass bitch and go support my own kids and do my own thing. So like we're all supporting her, rooting her on and everything as her team.
Okay,
You're
go
like,
off.
we're like, good for you. Whatever you say.
Just stop being a bitch, but it's fine.
Pretty much. That's kind of how we all were. So this is about a year in. I'm actually doing a lot better at work at this point. I'm getting a lot of attention. I'm getting my master's degree. I'm getting pulled in on a lot of different big roles and stuff like that. So like really excelling in the company. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a notice. And so then Aaron starts to take a notice of me as well. But at this point, I'm not really getting the direction I want. So I go and try to find another job. I get another job offer that was going to double my salary. And then Aaron comes back to me and is like, no, I want to match it and keep you.
Wow.
Okay, how the tables have
turntables.
Exactly. So this is like a huge turning point for mine and hers relationship. At this point, I actually feel like a very valued employee and like things are going really good. Important to note that I'm also in a long-term relationship at this point. So life was really good. So this is about 2021.
Can you tell me a little more about the long-term relationship?
It was a really good relationship. Like I know you love love. I don't, but
I love that.
I will love it for both of us.
You can love it all you want. I will say that she was the most wonderful person. We owned a home together. I am still very close with her family. Her 2 nieces and nephews are my godkids, and I love them to death. Still see them and everything. I will say she is someone's person, but she wasn't my person, and I realized that. But like I said, I can't say enough great things about her and everything that happened. I'm like, we actually split very amicably. We moved down actually to North Carolina together from a different state. I will say moving and going through a lot of that with your partner, it can put a strain on the relationship, especially when you guys are, when you're the only two like in an area and you don't have friends or anything, you end up becoming, it almost becomes toxic at a point. Like you become each other's best friends, roommates and everything. And it's just, it gets toxic. So yeah, like I said, I was in a good relationship. Things are going well. I get this promotion at work. I double my salary. We own a house. So this is like super important to us. We're like, okay, great. We can make updates and stuff. But then I also find out that Erin, she's in these great moods again. And it's because she now has a boyfriend named Blake. So much so that she's like taking him to work events. He's going to work dinners. He goes to the Christmas party with her. Like she's bringing this guy around. This is going to be her next man. And we're like, good for you. You're no longer an asshole anymore to all of us. So yay, okay, works for me. Don't really care. Her and I are really connecting though, like on a personal level. Like she's adding a lot more to my plate, but also trying to build a friendship with me and starts to stop seeing me as a stupid kid. And now she's starting to see me as like actually a professional adult that knew what she was doing.
How old is she? Is she much older than you or what was the age
She's 17 years older than me. I was intimidated by her because she was just super smart and I wanted to learn from her. So she starts seeing Blake. She's telling us relationship woes, like, oh, he did this stupid thing. And we all start sharing different things. This is probably like end of 21 into 2022. And I'm sharing things like I'm starting to have doubts in my relationship. Me and my partner are fighting a lot. We had bought the house. We're doing a lot of projects. And I'll tell you, like, if you do not do a house project, it does not test your relationship, like having to live in construction. So we were at each other's throats at a certain point. And it just, like I said, it got very toxic. And so I'm starting to express this to my colleagues and friends, just telling them what's going on. And a lot of them are just like, you're so young, you shouldn't be this miserable or you shouldn't be this unhappy. And I'm like, well, it's not even that. I'm someone that like once I commit to something, I'm in it. So I was really trying to make it work. And regardless of all the fights and stuff, like I was really trying to make it work. So there is like a point where we're all on a little business trip together and Martin And her best friend actually worked with us. Her name is Paige. Martin and Paige had to go to the bathroom while we were all at this work dinner. They both went to the bathroom at the same time. And it left me and Erin at the table together. And Erin leaned over and put her hand on my knee and was like, I'm just going to tell you that you are too young to be this unhappy in your relationship, and that you really should consider other options getting out of the relationship. And at the time, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was just like a friend being a friend, like saying, hey, like,
Yeah.
I see that you're not happy, you're young, you shouldn't be this unhappy.
Like a mentor.
Yeah, and that's how I looked at her at this point, was just a mentor, nothing really else. Like, she was pretty, but it was my boss.
Right. The new year is here, and it's a great time to look around your house and decide to elevate your space with Wayfair. I did that, and I'm sitting on my new Wayfair chair.
I love Wayfair so much. I got this big giant mirror in my living room last year.
Yes.
And then I just got one for my bedroom. I love all their home stuff. It's great.
It's got everything. And I think for any specific needs that you have, like from the basics, bedding, bath stuff, mattresses, towels, to home decor, to storage, to kitchen essentials, to living room furniture or decor. I feel
I've
like
gotten a bazillion rugs from there too.
Oh yeah, they've got everything.
And the shipping is so fast.
It's very, very, very easy. Also, prices, all the types of prices you could have if you need to save more money.
Any budget, yeah.
And especially, like we said, as you're like getting into the new year, settling in, maybe starting to think about some spring cleaning, it's always a great website to just scroll through and see what their updates are, because they've got something for every season and every home.
Get organized, refreshed, get back on track this new year for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack, hydration, and coffee sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, there's IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees. They're delicious, low sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. So all IQ Bar products are clean label certified, and they are entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. I think a great way to start is the Ultimate Sampler Pack. You get the IQ Bar products, you get IQ Mix sticks, and then there's 4 IQ Joe sticks. So you can try the mushroom coffee too. The IQ Bar's plant protein bars are a very smart snack choice. They have plenty of plant protein, tons of fiber, and no added sugar. I've been trying to have more protein lately, and I gotta say, it's hard to have enough. Like when you really start thinking about it and you're trying to hit that goal, you need something like this, because otherwise I just can't do it. The new year gives us all a chance to reset. So maximize your brain and body's potential with IQ Bars, protein bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all 3. I think it's such a great way to add protein and health into your mix and know that what you're getting is a great product. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. So to get your 20% off, text TDD to 64,000. Text TDD to 64,000. That's TDD to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
So after that, we were really getting closer, and she starts casually calling me babe in the office. She's texting me outside of work.
She's in HR and she's texting you and calling you babe. This is wild.
Yeah.
I think it's important too, because it's like, if you are working in HR at a company, who do you go to if somebody is
you're
being
in
creepy
HR
to you?
already? Yeah.
I was not saying no. I want to be very transparent. I was not like denying like that she was calling me babe. Like, her and her best friend called each other babe.
I call my girlfriends babe. I'm
Friends
like,
in
hey
a work-
babe, how
Even in a workplace,
Yeah.
I don't think
do
I
it?
think about it, and probably maybe we should, but okay, good.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Maybe you should, but maybe this will be a cautionary tale. So she's texting me all the time, sending me pictures. Like, she got her hair done. She sends me a picture and she's like, do you like it? And stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you look gorgeous. I thought we were really just becoming like girlfriends, like kind of someone that you grab a drink with after work. Yes, you may be my boss, but we're just friends. That's really what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So we start traveling a lot, and I am at the point where me and my current girlfriend are at our end. I'm like, I got to stop this. So I'm starting to pull back the life that we have intertwined and telling her, like, I don't think this is going to work. So we split up. Well, me and Erin go to dinner together at one point, and Erin opens up to me about her abusive ex-husband because she was married one time before. Then she
Oh.
had her most recent ex-husband, and we kind of trauma bond a little bit. Like, she tells me some stuff that she's went through. I tell her some stuff that I've went through. And at that point, we're like really close. We're texting every weekend after that. So I split up with my ex at this point, and this is probably December of 2022. Erin and I go out to dinner again for a work event, and she gets absolutely completely drunk. So drunk that I take her keys from her, and I'm like, you're not driving home. Like, I'm either getting you an Uber or a taxi or something. I even have the bartenders at this restaurant coming up to me saying, do I need to get her a taxi? And I'm like, no, no, no,
Oh,
I'll get her
wow.
home. I'll make sure she's okay. I had not drank that much. And at this point I was new to drinking. So like I knew not to not to go crazy. So nonetheless, I'm holding her keys away from her. No, we need to get you home. I call her best friend Paige and I'm like, what do I do? Clearly, this is not a first time situation. Can someone come pick her up because she's refusing to tell me where she lives or anything? It becomes this very dramatic situation, but one thing leads to another, and I'm holding the keys away from her, and she comes on to me in the parking lot. She's a lot shorter than me, so I'm like holding her keys literally over her head at a certain point, and she comes and grabs up on me and is like all over me to the point where I had a button up shirt. She's pulling the buttons off. Like, it's a
Oh,
whole thing.
wow. Okay. Well,
Oh, Kayla.
I denied it for, I would say it was probably a good 2 or 3 minutes where I was like, no, 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 we can't do this. Like, stop, stop, like trying to push her off and everything. And then one thing leads to another, and I give in. And we end up sleeping together that night.
Was this something that you expected could happen? Had there been vibes at all?
There had been vibes, but I didn't think it was ever going to go to that point because, like,
Mhm.
I will tell you, we're both very professional. We're HR, so like,
Yeah, that's what, yeah. That makes
you don't usually do those things. Usually,
right.
we're writing people up for doing those things, if not firing them. Never in my world of this could possibly happen, and then it did. Immediate regret afterwards. Like, I'm driving her back to her car, and we're both like, "What did we just do?" And I jump up and I'm like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to give you my resignation tomorrow. This is too messy. This is too complicated. We're done. She had been at the company much longer than me, had built the department and everything. So to me, I was like, I still have so much time to go build this for myself. I knew that was never going to be my long-term company. So to me, it was like, I can go find something. It'll be a lot easier for me. And at this point, I'm thinking she has 2 kids. She's supporting on her own. She just got a new mortgage. She just built a house. I didn't want that pressure on her. So I'm like, don't even worry
Yeah.
about it. I'm just going to step away. We'll pretend this never happened. And that's that.
Wow.
Just give me a good reference. That's all I was asking
Yeah, no
for.
kidding. So how long after your breakup did this happen?
It was probably weeks. Like, it was very soon after. Not something I'm proud of, but
Yeah.
it was very quickly
There's no
after.
judgment either way.
No
It's just
judgment.
nice to know the timeline.
But I think that factors in. I mean,
And it speaks to where you were maybe in your mindset.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can tell you, I hate that I did it at the time that I did because, again, it was so soon after, but I was not prepared for anything serious. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
what it is. And like I said, I didn't have anyone to support other than myself. So I wasn't really worried about anything. And we owned a house. So just mindset wise, I was like, if I quit, I have money coming in from the house. I have some savings. I'll be fine. So the next day I go into the office and she comes in late. She pulls me in and she's like, hey, you're not quitting. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're not quitting. We're adults. This is fine. We're just going to move past this. And I'm like, are you sure? Rule number one, if this gets awkward for either of us, we can't do it or whatnot. You just need to say the word and I'm out. And she was like, no, 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 we're adults. It was a big mistake. It'll never happen again. And I'm like, okay. I'm going through the process of selling my house. She's then telling me that her and Blake break up. And that's
Oh,
what
right.
it is.
I totally forgot she had a boyfriend. So she was cheating on her boyfriend too.
Correct. So she says because of this that they break up. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, like it was coming anyways. Like, it is what it is. And I'm like, wow, I'm, just trying to be compassionate and still be a friend to her and just move past this, be a professional friend to her.
So was there any part of her that was uncomfortable with the fact that she's your boss and came on to you, that she had gotten that drunk? Did she make you feel like that you had done something wrong? It's interesting to me that she had no like apology or guilt or anything.
She had none. Like, if anything, she made me feel bad about it, especially afterwards. There were a few times where we would have conversations, and I told her I was struggling at one point because she had just promoted me like a year before that. And I was like, did you just promote me because you thought I was cute or something? I was starting to struggle really badly internally with it. And then after this, she promotes me again. So I really start freaking out,
Oh.
especially like I have my master's. Like I am a very well educated person and I'm very much self made. My parents didn't put me through college. Like I have paid and done everything on my own. So when this is all happening, I am having internal struggles galore, can't even process what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and
So
did you
That
talk to anybody about it?
no, because it was like this one time thing that happened. And so I was like, oh,
And it's a
like,
secret.
exactly. I'm like, who am I going to tell? And I wasn't super close with family or my mom or anything at this point. So it was something I dealt with just internally. And it wasn't fun, I'll be honest.
Really hard.
So that happens. We do have to see each other for work events quite a few more times after that. And it's very casual. We don't even go out to dinner afterwards. But then about a month and a half later, she reaches out and we had another event that was out of town. And she was asking me what kind of candy, because like we did hiring events, and with hiring events, you put a bowl of candy out front. It's just like a thing that you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, what kind of candy do you want me to get? And I was like, I don't care what kind of candy you get. She goes, what do you want? And I'm like, I told you I don't care. Like, I kid you not, probably asked me 4 or 5 times, what do I want? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I told you I don't care what you get. Just grab it and I'm going to be miserable there anyways. And so
Yeah.
we were on a company messaging app at this point. She then pulls it off of company messaging and texts me and says, what do you want? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you want? I'm genuinely confused.
Oh, no.
And she's like, I want to do what we did again. And I was like, wait, what? So I'm like completely thrown off for a minute. And she's like, I'm going to call you on my way back from work. So she calls me that night and we're just chatting. And she's like, it was a good time. I don't know. Maybe we could just have this as like a fling. I've thought about it a lot. And we're flirting in the office still a little bit here and there. Like, clearly you're not opposed to it. So what are your thoughts? And I'm like, I'm single. As long as it doesn't get messy, I'm fine with it. I'm thinking it's really just going to be a fling. Again, not my best judgment. I was in my early 20s.
How'd she experience in the past with women?
She
Yeah.
said she had, but then the more like I got to know her, I would say no. I think I was a phase for her. I honestly think I was midlife crisis. Looking back on it.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, is that it sounds to me like she was using you a little bit to have fun or whatever. I don't know.
Which at that point, I'll be honest, if that's all it would have been, and I wasn't on here telling her dogfish story, I would have been fine with it, because at this point, I'll be transparent. I was just looking for a fling. I was like, you know what, this will be
Yeah.
fun.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
and honestly, I was like sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, people fantasize about this all the time. Like, I was like, let me
Uh-huh.
go ahead and get a fantasy out, kick this, you know.
The boss. Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
At the end of the day, like, not my most responsible way of handling things, but it was what it was.
Sure.
One last question. Again, no judgment at all, but what was the policy? Like, so this was, I assume, not allowed.
No.
Were you able to, like, if you disclosed a relationship, it was okay, or like
Who
not
are we
even?
disclosing to?
That's a great point, Kayla. Okay.
I'm
So,
sorry. I'm
so
sorry.
you guys are in HR and she's the boss.
I'll just say that even if we would have disclosed, she would have lost her job or I would have had to be resigned,
Yeah.
because we were in the same department and she was my direct report. So there was no fixing any of this.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, it was messy. So we meet up after and we hook up again. And fast forward, she's like, okay, I need to go home and cook for my kids. And then I'll come back and we can go to dinner. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're actually trying to hang out after this and stuff too. Okay, cool. So I get a text like about 3 hours later and she's like, oh, my kid's bunny died. So
My kid's bunny.
Aw.
she's like, my kid's bunny died, so I'm not going to be able to make it. And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. She's like, they're devastated. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, 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 it's okay. I'm super understanding. I'm like, that's fine. I can entertain myself. Don't worry about it. So I didn't think much of it. But then about 3 weeks later, when I'm at the other office, she tells her best friend, Paige, that that's when her daughter's bunny died. So this is like a 3 week period. So I'm like, again, didn't think much of it, but I was just like, okay, that's
Wait,
weird. And
what?
then brush it off. Yeah.
So this is just an excuse that she keeps using again and again or something?
she used it for something else for someone else at this point.
And you found out.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't really a red flag. It was just like, okay, maybe they had multiple bunnies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Your other grandma died too?
just wait.
Oh,
God.
God. Okay.
So we're in 2023 now. We're very much like a little phase. She's based out of Charlotte and I'm in Raleigh. We were 4 hours away from each other. And we're just meeting and hooking up on work trips. I have to travel a lot for this new position she had promoted me into, and work's kind of chaotic. Martin, when I left and she promoted me into like a broader role, he starts acting a fool in his current role and basically is getting himself fired. I'm removed from the situation, but Aaron's asking me to oversee what's happening with Martin and his new coworker and everything that's going on there. And I'm helping, but I'm more so just like eyes and ears. I have no authority over them. I'm just helping give an unbiased opinion when I'm in the office.
Okay.
So like I said, kind of exist in fragments. We do hang out when we're together. If not, it's fine, but we're texting all the time, calling each other on our ways to and from work kind of thing. Sometimes it's about work and sometimes it's not. I will say we did a very good job like trying to keep things separate. I'll give us that credit for the most part. For the few months that we did this, we did okay. But nobody in the office knows. Again, she's straight and I was out at work, so everyone knew I was a lesbian. So I make plans to actually go down there for a training event, and me and her are supposed to hang out while I'm there.
Mhm.
And I was in town for, I think, 2 or 3 days, and right as I get into town that night, she was supposed to come see me, and she ghosts me for the whole night, and I'm
What?
like exactly. I'm like, "What is going on?" And I'm annoyed at this point, but I'm like, "Whatever, I'll go entertain myself again. She's just blowing me off." Well, then the next morning, she texted me and said that on her way home, she had a cyst burst and she hemorrhaged on a very busy highway in the area, and somehow by the grace of God had pulled over and was able to get help, called 911 and spent the night in the hospital. And I'm like, "Oh my God, where
What?
are you? What's going
Oh.
on?" Yeah, like I'm freaking out for her. And she's like, "No, no, no, I don't want anyone to know. Please don't say anything at work. I'm coming into work today. If they know that this happened, I could lose my job." And I'm like,
Wait,
Why?
what? What?
she's acting like she's going to lose her job. And I can understand it. As a woman in power, you never want to show weakness. And
Of
as
course.
I was going to say, as someone that is now at that same level, I would agree. But I also think if I hemorrhaged in my car and it was true,
Yeah,
I
that's like
probably would call my
Yeah.
boss and say, "Hey, I'm not going to be in the next day." I don't know. That's just
I'm
me.
literally calling from the hospital. That's not a weakness, that's just a human body.
Yeah, it was weird, but there was like some stuff going on at work to where they were looking at her a little bit. So I could understand why she didn't want to express that out, because I know that at that point there were conversations of, is she going to stay? And I think she always felt like she was on the chopping block. So knowing the political climate at work and then her saying that and that she didn't want to let anyone know, I understood it. Like it made sense looking
Mhm.
back, not necessarily 100%, but it made sense at that moment.
You guys, have you ever gotten denied for credit or known that your credit wasn't that great? Bad credit can make everything harder. And Ava helps turn the table so you can finally get the credit you deserve, whether it's renting an apartment, getting a fair rate on something. Ava's a great place to start when you think about where you want to be financially. Ava is a credit building app that's designed to work fast and help your credit score where it really matters, so your credit score can start climbing with almost zero effort. So instead of a secured card, you can get approved in 5 minutes with up to a $2,500 credit limit. There's no credit check, and you just pay your monthly subscriptions. They give you a list of subscriptions that you can pay, and your on time payments are reported to all the major credit bureaus. So it helps you build solid credit history quickly. And what's interesting is Ava members improve their scores by an average of 30 points in 30 days. With Ava, you'll get access to all of Ava's credit building tools, no hidden fees, sneaky membership tiers, anything like that. It's very low stress, low cost, and you just set up the auto pay. It's the easiest thing ever. I love it. Take control of your credit today. Download the Ava app, AVA, and when you use our promo code dating20, you'll get 20% off your first year, monthly or annual, your choice. Again, grab the Ava app and use our promo code dating20 so they know you heard it from us, and you'll get 20% off any plan for up to a year. That's promo code dating20. Thanks to Ava, and now go get yourself some good credit.
Mackenzie, we've talked about this before. It's been very hard to find bras and underwear that fit
Oh,
perfectly and feel
girl.
comfortable. And now I
Mm,
live in my Skims.
I love
I'm
Skims.
converted.
I'm absolutely converted. As someone who used to weigh 300 pounds and I've lost 175 pounds, and my body is constantly changing. It's a little bit softer now, and I'm, getting older, and I've always struggled to find bras and panties, but the Skims underwear have been amazing. The bras are amazing. I love that there's something for everybody.
And I love, yeah, everybody, the color range, the size range. I think it's sad that more brands are not as inclusive as a brand like this. And I do commend Skims for being that way. And I know a lot of people who have shared that struggle in trying Skims. Not only do they fit comfortably, they literally have a range called the Fits Everybody line, which is what I mostly wear. But they're
And
so
it's actually comfortable,
comfortable.
you guys. It's
So
actually comfortable.
comfortable.
My favorite thing, I think, is they have a bra that's like, because after you have kids and you breastfeed, your breasts change shape. And so sometimes it's a little bit harder to feel sexy. And so they actually have a bra that is kind of like a sports bra where it's like, imagine like a crop tank top in the back, but in the front it has underwire. So it gives you that nice balconette
Yes.
lift. It is so comfortable, covers the back fat. It fits like a sports bra, but it gives you the support that you need. And it's amazing. It's my favorite thing. My mom wears them now. I love them. They come in all the basic colors that you could need. And it's my favorite thing ever.
You definitely go check out Skims.
Shop our favorite bras and underwear at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop down menu that follows. So just find the Dating Detectives.
So this is going on for a few months and we're probably 6 months in and we're like, are we going to continue to do this? She's telling me how much she cares about me. She loves me. She's calling me after work every day, literally
She
every
loves
day.
you? She's saying she loves you?
She's telling me she's catching
That's
feelings.
not a fling anymore. Oh, no.
Correct. And I'll be honest, I was catching feelings too, but I was like, okay, we need to figure out what this is. Is this more than a fling? We've never spent more than a night or two together, and it's always based around something that has to do with work. Do we want to see what this could be? And I was like, let's do it. So we take a trip to Asheville, get a nice hotel, and we spend 3 days, 4 nights there. So while we're in Asheville, we are having the time of our lives. I kid you not, it was probably one of the best trips I've ever had. We went to dinner and she wasn't afraid to show me off in public. We were holding hands. We're having the great time all out in public, just doing a lot of couple things. It was a really good time. At the very end of it, we have this conversation and I'm like, what are you thinking? And she's like, honestly, I want to see where this goes. I'm in love with you and I really want to see where this goes. And I'm like, okay, I love you too. Let's see where this goes. I should also mention she was giving me a lot of gifts, like expensive gifts at this hotel. She gives me this very nice diamond necklace. Yeah. So it's the center of her world is what it's called. It's from K Jewelers. So it was very sentimental. And I was like, oh, you're trying to make a statement here. I'm a deep person. Words of affirmation is my love language. So she's like giving me all this attention. She's telling me how much she loves me, that how smart I am is what attracted her to me. She's even telling me a lot about her kids to a point where I felt like I knew her kids. She also provides for her father. She was like a goddess to me at this point. Like I genuinely thought she was just the best thing in the world.
Did you think she was pretty or just hot, or did you get to like her over time or what?
So when I first met her, I thought she was pretty, but I was not super attracted to her. It was around
Well,
this
yeah,
stage.
because she was like the ice queen.
She was, but that's definitely my type. I love the unavailable.
I get it. Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about how when you first met her, she didn't admire your intelligence, nor even admire your voice or presence in general. So I imagine that was an insecurity going into this relationship.
I think that's part of why I wanted her attention so bad. I really just wanted her to like me. And then it was like once she liked me, I also liked her. But I really liked her personality. We had a lot of similarities. We both grew up in some rougher environments, very poor. She had mentioned that she was self-made, so we were able to connect on that level. And I admired that she was like at this point a single mom and just being a bad bitch. She was telling me how she very much had worked 2 or 3 jobs to help with her kids. And I'm like, I can relate to that. It wasn't my kids, but I did a lot for my little brother growing up. And we connected on those levels. And like I said, she was just very attentive. When we were together, it felt like nothing else mattered. She literally made me feel so good about myself. And it was something I hadn't felt before. And she was super supportive too. Anything I wanted to do, she would literally be like, no, you can do it. How can I help support you through it? And I think that's why I fell for her as quickly and as hard as I did. Some of the things she would say were super deep. I just listened to an episode where you guys were talking about this, but she would always tell me that we were twin flames.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, so she would always say that we were twin flames and that we were soulmates, and would always bring in spiritual stuff and say that we were 2 souls intertwined. And I love poetry and stuff, so she would send me poems that she would find and whatnot. She wrote me multiple poems. I'm positive they're from Reddit at this point, but she wrote me a bunch of
Did it, when
poems.
she wrote them to you, did it feel very love bombing or did it feel sweet?
It felt sweet. I remember the first time she sent me this song. It's called Oceans by Carol G. And it's like, if we had to part ways, I'd still love you always, like that kind of vibe. I remember when she sent me that, I very much was like, okay, that's a little too much too soon.
Yeah.
But then shortly after that, it became our song, and I very much bought into the whole thing. And I really caught feelings. When I'm in, I'm all in. When I'm out, I'm all out. So I was 100%
That's me
in
too.
at
I
this
get
point.
that.
And I had never been pursued the way she was pursuing me. So I am sitting here like, oh my God, somebody likes me this much? I was head over heels.
Well, it sounds like she did exactly what you needed her to do to show that.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
to make you feel the way you wanted to feel.
Absolutely. As we're leaving Asheville and everything, she knew I was getting all this money from this house selling and everything. We're like, oh, we need to start solidifying our love. We wanted to go on vacation together and like all these really cool things. I won't even sugarcoat it. I was fully in love and I was ready to settle down and call it a day. I say I'm going to get a new job. Part of it because her and I are going to progress our relationship. And then the other part was I needed to prove to myself that I could make it outside of that company and outside of her purview.
Because you wanted to feel like you earned it.
Exactly. The only way I'm ever going to feel that is if I get another job. And if I can exceed and go above expectations there too, I'll know it had nothing to do with her. So as we're leaving Asheville, she's texting me. And then at a certain point, communication drops. She ghosts me. So we leave Asheville on the Saturday morning. I don't hear from her until Monday morning on my way to work.
Wait, what? And this was the longest you would have ever gone without that, right?
The longest we had ever gone without talking, and then it was right after we like confessed our love for each other, saying that we wanted this to be something real.
So how are you? What is going through your head?
Oh, I was devastated. So I'm sitting there trying to logically think about, okay, so if this is really what it is, maybe it's because she's struggling with her own feelings. She's just coming out of 2 relationships that failed. She has kids. Maybe she's second guessing everything. Sometimes when I get too emotionally overwhelmed, I also shut down. Maybe she needed time to herself. I don't know. So I get a text that morning and she's like, hey, I'm sorry that I disappeared, but my youngest went to a cheerleading banquet and overdosed with all of her friends.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, wait, what? And so I'm like, is she okay? And she's fine. She had her stomach pumped. She's suspended from school for the week. Her ex-husband's now yelling at her saying it's all her fault. And I'm like, I am so sorry. How can I support you? Do you want me to take off today? And I'll come over. And she's like, no, you can't take off. I need you to handle what's happening there so that I can handle my at-home life. And I'm like, okay. And I just feel horrible. So then I let her be for that week and I give her a full pass. I'm like, we don't even talk about the fact of what happened. It's just, this is what it is. So fast forward, things are going okay. And then I get a new job very quickly after, doubled my salary again. So that was exciting. I loved the company. I proved to myself that I could do it without her, which was awesome. So I excelled very quickly there.
Was she supportive and excited for you?
She was supportive, but there would always be side-handed comments like, well, I made VP before I was 30 and I did this before I was 30. And I was like, okay.
That's important to note.
And it was playful the way she would do it. I'm a competitive person. So when she would say that, it's like, I still have some years to go because I was 26 at this point. And I'm like, I still have 4 years. We'll see what happens in 4 years. So it was okay. Everything was good with me and her. We're super serious at this point. And we had talked about doing a big vacation. She knew I was getting the house money because I had sold my house with my ex. And she's like, I really want to go on an all-inclusive, just us vacation. So she's like, we'll pay 50-50. And I'm like, okay. So she sends me a list of places she's always wanted to go. And so I pick one and we agreed to it. And she's like, you book it and I'll pay you back. So I booked it. And then after about a few weeks, I was like, don't worry about it. I just got all this money. It's for us. Let's go and have a good time. So,
and you're kind of at the headspace now of we're a partnership. What's mine is yours.
And that's where a lot of the next multiple mistakes that I made come from, because I am actually very much there. I am like, we are a partnership. I am trying to grow for our future. This is for us being together and us really building something. And not only that, like I'm thinking, okay, I know what she makes at this point. She's only making a little bit more than I am. So I'm like, she's supporting 2 kids and a dad. I'm just supporting me. I was rolling in money while I feel like she's struggling. So I was like, no, I got it. So I buy a vacation and we book it for, it was like 2 months later. And so 2 months goes by and we've seen each other here and there, but it's very brief. I travel all over now with my new job. So we still can see each other when we're out of town, but I can't like plan it to be at the same place that she is and us get away with it. That makes sense. It just has to be coincidence, or I say, hey, I'm going to be here if you want to also plan your work trip around this location too. So when it comes up to the time of the vacation, she's like, I can't go. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you can't go? I'm like,
I'm
and
sorry,
by the way,
what?
this is a $4,000 or $5,000 vacation. It's all inclusive, like drinks, food, everything included.
Did she have another bunny emergency?
She says her dad broke his wrist or his arm. He was trying to get into the shower. He slipped and broke his arm. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awful. I understand it. Don't worry about it. I'll call the hotel
What are
and
you
cancel.
supposed to do? You can't, if it just happens, what are you supposed to do? You're
Exactly. And I get it with elderly parents, especially like things
Yeah.
happen. She's like, can you try to see if they'll reschedule it? And I'm like, absolutely. So I call them and they're like, we have a zero refund policy.
Oh
So,
gosh.
but I explained that it was a medical emergency and they're like, okay, not a problem. If you can provide documented proof, we'll reschedule it for you. And I'm like, okay,
Oh no.
thank you. So now I'm asking for documented proof. It takes 2 weeks,
Uh-oh.
but she does send me a letter from a doctor and an x-ray.
I just want to note that Kayla just did a doctor in Air Bunny quotes.
Yeah.
So I sent it to the hotel and it worked. So we rescheduled for her birthday, which was 2 or 3 months down the road. So it had been a few weeks from us seeing each other. And I was like, I miss you. I want to spend time with you. At this point, it was
Yeah.
becoming a very heavy texting relationship. And I'm like, this is weird. I have more mobility. I don't have kids and a dad to worry about. Let me come over and take you out to dinner. She's like, absolutely. Come on over. We can go out on Saturday. You can get a room. I'll stay with you that night. I just need it to be close to my house. So I'm like, okay, not a problem. Thank God I didn't book the room in advance because as Friday hit, she's like, I just got word that my long lost sister died up in Pennsylvania. And when she died, I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? I didn't know you had another sister. And she's like, yeah, we just don't talk about her. She was like, she's Orthodox Jewish. So we have to go up there and do Shiva. And she was going through all these different things that they have to do. And I was like, okay, I don't know much about the Jewish religion. So I'm just respecting it. And she wasn't Jewish, but she said that her lifestyle just didn't match with the Orthodox Jewish community. So she was saying that her and her sister did not get along, and her sister didn't get along with the rest of the family because I guess when you're Orthodox Jewish, and this is hearsay, I have not really looked all of this up. She said that you can't wear pants. So when her and her kids would wear pants around them, they would get very upset.
I know a lot of Orthodox Jews and they're not mad at me for wearing pants. You know what I mean? Some might be, but yeah, that all of this, it's like, I get it. Like, we don't know. Like, her story, it very well could be, but we don't know.
You don't know. So she's telling you this and you're like, okay, like that. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I think it's an important part too. When we agreed to be exclusive with each other, we made a commitment to each other that there was no lies. We would never lie to each other and that there would never be anyone else. She made me promise forward, backwards, and in between that she would never be the other woman because she said that all of her other partners had made her the other woman. And she said she never wanted to be that with me. And I'm like, well, first and foremost, I don't cheat. I've never cheated before in my life. I'm not going to start now. So I think you're okay. But nonetheless, yep, I promise. And then I made her promise. I'm very big on don't lie to me. I just feel as an adult, who are you lying to? Why are you lying? The only person you're going to get in trouble with is yourself if you're lying.
Yeah, don't lie to me. God damn, don't lie to me.
So literally, so when she's telling me this stuff about her sister and how she's Jewish, I'm thinking, oh, this is 100% real.
Because why would she lie about something like that?
I have this thing where like trust but verify kind of thing. So this was already
that's literally our quote. That's our tagline.
Yeah,
verify. We got it on a t-shirt.
I'm going to have to buy one because I say it all the time. So I start looking for an obituary for the sister that's up in the state. So I knew the city and the state she had flown into. And like, I knew, I look all around. And so I ask if there was an obituary. And she tells me that Orthodox Jewish people do not write obituaries and that they do not publish it in the paper. And I'm like,
okay.
And again, this is the first time that this has happened. So I'm just accepting, trusting, trying to say, why would she lie about something this serious? Like, why would you lie about this?
Yeah.
Wait, but so your motivation to look for the obituary, because like it easily could just be, oh, I just want to see the obituary. I want to read about her family. Or
what was your motivation?
Did you think there was something fishy?
I felt it was fishy. It was just weird that the one weekend I had planned, she had done like these little tiny excuses, nothing this dramatic as to someone dying, but like little excuses why I couldn't come over or why I couldn't.
It's always very conveniently around your trips.
And that was kind of what my thing was. It's always around the trips. It was a little bit of a red flag. I would say it was like a pink flag almost, maybe orange. Yellow, like proceed with caution. I don't know. It was like
it's tie-dye.
I was just kind of approaching with caution a little bit. She tells me all this stuff. And then when I actually would question things, she would just be like, you don't understand how chaotic my life is. I have 2 kids that I'm responsible for. I am my family's pillar. So when something goes wrong in my sister's life, I have to be there. If something goes wrong in my kid's life, I have to be there. Even in my ex-husband's life, I have to be there. And I'm like,
I'm a hero and you're not mature enough to understand is a way to translate that perhaps.
That is absolutely how it felt. And so I always would feel horrible because I'm like, you're right. I don't understand this. I only have to worry about myself and my little brother, but he's self-sufficient at this point. I also am going to throw out that her kids at this point are 17 and 19. So they are older than my little brother. Yes, yes, they are
Yeah.
grown-ass adults. They are grown-ass adults. She's a single mom, so I'm trying to really be understanding. But like I said, she had canceled a lot of stuff
Sure.
up until that point. I'm like, oh, that's weird, and yellow flags. I started to try to be my own PI at a certain point, and that was what I started with. So
You got to start somewhere. Good for you. I'm proud of you, Kayla.
you'll be really proud at the end, I promise. I'm just trying to keep the peace at a certain point. So I stopped questioning a lot of it, and I'm just like, I need to accept it. She's clearly a busy person. Now that we're really serious, and like I had mentioned, I'm still very close with my ex's family. I start to confide in my ex's sister, who was my best friend the entire time. I was still babysitting the kids. I'm over there hanging out with the kids. I spent Christmas and Thanksgiving with them even after we separated. So I'm hanging out with her sister. She's like, you're really bubbly and stuff lately. What's going on? Who are you seeing? You're seeing someone, like very much girl talk. And I'm like, I am. And yes, I'm really happy and stuff like that. And so finally I confess to her what's going on. And I tell her, you know who it is. And she's guessing that it's our hairdresser and all this other stuff. I'm like, it's Erin, my old boss. And she's just shocked. And she's like,
Yeah.
when? And I'm like, it started like probably a few months after me and your sister broke up. But then technically I slept with her really close to the breakup. And I'm sorry for that. But as a best friend, she's super supportive, super happy, but she's also
Grown ass adult, though, also.
well, yeah, I will just say, I'm sure it pulled on her a little bit because it's her sister.
Sure.
So she ends up telling her sister. And at this point, me and my ex are still very cordial with each other, like to the point, like if she needed something, I would help her with it. Or if I needed something, she would help me with it. We were friends. So long story short, my ex goes on a rampage with me. Like I said, she had a community of gay friends, so she's going out. And again, Martin's important in this story because Martin is also gay and in the gay community. She goes out to a gay bar, sees Martin at 2 a.m. They're both drunk and hammered, and she goes and tells Martin that I am sleeping with Erin.
And he's like, oh my God, this is tea.
Oh, yes. He was like, this is tea. So he was really good friends with Paige, which is Erin's good friend. He contacts Paige and tells Paige everything. He's also still got friends in the company, so he's telling everybody.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I wake up the next morning having no idea that this happened. It's a Monday morning. And Erin goes into work, and her best friend Paige brings her into the office and is like, I have to tell you this. I'm hearing all this secondhand, so take it with a grain of salt. But I find out that she gets pulled into Paige's office, and Paige is like, are you sleeping with her? What's going on? And I don't know what happened outside of that, other than I was told by Erin that the whole company knew. So much so that her boss knew, the CEO knew, the president knew, and all this stuff. Meanwhile, I hear nothing. No one's telling me they heard anything. Nobody's telling me any bit of it. And I still have a lot of friends in the company. So I'm like, this is kind of weird that she's saying that it's blowing up, but not a single person has reached out to me to connect with me to see if it's true.
Sure.
So I was like, whatever though. I believing her, but she freaks out on me. She's like, you ruined my life. We're over. I can't believe you would do this. She's
oh my.
this huge dramatic thing. And she's telling me that her ex-boyfriend, Blake, found out and that he called her and was making a bunch of lesbian slurs towards her and stuff like that. And then a few days later, she's telling me that her ex-husband's fighting for custody for the kids. Again, I mentioned they're 17 and 19. So you do the math on that.
Oh,
You can't get custody of a 19-year-old. That's called kidnapping.
Nonetheless, she's going off.
And were you feeling like this was overdramatic, or were you like, oh my God, she was outed without wanting to be? It's at her workplace. Like, were you sympathetic to this response?
I would say I was 50-50. First and foremost, you can just deny it. And that's what I told her. Everyone knows that you're straight. Like, just tell everyone that it's a lie. It's just this disgruntled employee. He's an ex-employee of yours. He left on bad terms with you. Just pretend like it didn't happen. And not only that, we're 17 years apart. Who's really going to believe it? If you just deny it, I guarantee you nobody's going to fight it.
Yeah, but were you sad about that though? You wanted this to turn into something real.
I was.
But she's trying to protect her too.
I will tell you, I'm very much a protector in the relationship, so much so that I had a very good guy best friend that I had made while working there. Him and I became closer as I left the company. We would grab dinner and drinks here and there. And I texted him and I'm like, if you hear anything, and he is very involved in gossip, like he knows everybody, knew everything. So he had the tea. He still has the tea and he don't work there no more. So that's what I mean. Like he was connected. So I call him and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to tell you what's going on, but I have 2 questions. If you hear anything about me at work, you have to tell me. Anything, because he was still working there at that point. And he's like, absolutely. And I'm like, second, if you hear that I slept with anybody, you deny it and you say that me and you are together. He's like, absolutely.
Done and done, bestie.
Wow.
Literally, he's like, done and done. He's like, if I hear anything, you and I have been together since you left. He's like, I'll tell everyone you left because of it. And I'm like, thank
Oh.
you. He was literally like, ride or die, I'm here.
Legit.
No questions
Wow.
asked, was ready to go. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So fast forward, it's a week later, and she is no contact with me, not talking to me. I was absolutely devastated. Like I said, I thought she may have overreacted a little bit, but I was devastated. Like, I genuinely was trying to plan my life around this woman. And mind you, this was about 2 weeks before we were supposed to go on the vacation for round 2. I'm already realizing, like, I already took it off work, and she's not coming with me. I'm gonna have to go do this on my own. I'm asking her, and she's not responding. And I'm like, all right, cool. I paid this money. And like I said, I grew up poor. So I'm like, at the worst, I'm going to go eat for 2, and I'm going to go drink for 2, and I'm going to woe my sorries away in paradise. So that is exactly what I was planning on doing. I do end up talking to that best friend. Him and I grab a drink together about a week after I'd asked him, right before I was leaving. And I tell him what's going on. And he's like, no, nobody has said a word about you and Aaron.
Oh
I've
my
heard
God.
nothing. He's like, I'm connected, but I've heard nothing. And I'm like, maybe it stayed in the executive bubble or something. And he was like, I don't know, Kayla. I don't think that anything got out. So I go on this vacation. And while I'm on vacation in paradise, she texts me and she tells me that she misses me. She's so sorry. But she uses WhatsApp. We had been texting this whole
Why?
time.
What? Why?
I asked what was going on, and she told me that her youngest daughter had gotten her phone, and when she got her phone, she read through all of our texts, and that with WhatsApp, she could put a lock on the messages so that no one could see them.
Is that true? I gotta look that up.
I don't
know
know
if
because I had never used WhatsApp before. So her youngest daughter's name was Mia. So she kept saying that Mia was like really having a problem with this and was like reading through all of our texts and stuff. And I'm like, well, poor girl saw
Tell
some
me
things.
to stop.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. She then tells me on this trip, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I got outed and all this came out, because now we can really try to be together. Now I can introduce you to my kids. I'm never going to keep you a secret again.
Oh,
This was
no.
so horrible. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. We're going to make it through this. We're going to make it through it. At this point, I am crying tears of joy on this vacation. I'm also, full transparency, I'm drunk. I was like a happy drunk. Like, I'm out there at the bar getting extra shots. Like, yes, things are good again. I don't have to sit here and cry on my vacation. So,
well, it's everything you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
yeah, it really was. So I was like, maybe all of this hell was worth it, especially like I was devastated for those 2 weeks. So then I come back from this little vacation, and it's around her birthday, of course. So I'm like, what are you going to do for your birthday? And the same week of her birthday, she's like, I have to go on a work trip. And I'm like, I didn't know you had to leave, especially when we had this vacation plan, but okay, where are you going? And she tells me she's going to Salt Lake City for an acquisition with the company. And I'm like, that's weird because we don't do acquisitions in our position, but okay, go off. Clearly they trust you. And she's like, yeah, they asked me to go. And she's telling me she's with this group of executives. As I mentioned, I'm still very close with some of the executives, and I'm still connected with all of them on LinkedIn. And here's the fun part. She has no social media. She has none. I will say, I also do not, because when you are a head of a company, I will tell you people are creepy and they will try to find you.
Yeah.
So I don't post anything personal on there. Like, at this point, it's just me and my dog.
Totally.
And you wouldn't know anything about me from looking at it. So she just said that it had gotten her in trouble before at work. So she stopped, and that people got really creepy and freaky with her. So she just deleted it all. So
Totally.
the only thing we had was LinkedIn. So I go on LinkedIn one day, just had like wild hair at my ass, and look on LinkedIn, and there's a whole big picture of the entire executive team in Japan looking at a piece of equipment. The same week she's supposed to be with them in Salt Lake City. And I'm like, this is not
That's
computing.
not connecting.
So I question her about it, and she's like, no, they sent me with a different team. That's why, because they were all in Japan, that they asked me and a handful of others to go and do this trip. So it's just really weird. And I'm like, we're still coming back from this whole big thing. So I'm trying to be super understanding about it. And I just let it be. Anyways, 3 weeks after that, like, we're trying to see each other after this big blow up happens. And I was over in her area for my job, and we were supposed to go to dinner, and she calls me literally the night we're supposed to go to dinner, and she's like, I'm not going to be able to see you tonight. I'm so sorry, but my sister's husband's mom died and I have to help them. And
My
they're
sister's husband's mom. Okay.
she said she was really close with the family, and she is really close with her sister. She told me from like day one, her and her sister are like tied at the hip. So I'm like, okay, we were just getting over the big fight. So I'm still not trying to push on anything. And I'm like, okay, so you have to help with the funeral. Well, they're also Orthodox Jew. So she's like, I have to get a Shiva dress and all this other stuff.
Wait, dress the body up? I don't remember that from Hebrew school, but I'm gonna do a deep dive after this. If that's a thing we do, I haven't heard it.
Girl, if that's a thing you do, then that's a thing you do. I don't know much about religion.
Of course. Well, that's why it's a good, yeah, of course if you're a respectful person, you're just going to be like, okay, whatever you do, whatever you need, I respect it. Totally.
And like I said, she was so detailed in some of the stuff to where she told me that they were picking out this woman's underwear.
I don't know. I could be way off. There might be a way that you're supposed to prepare for the burial, but that's not.
No idea.
I didn't. Usually the son's sister's sister is not
the one
involved in
doing all
that.
this. I feel like that's not in Hebrew school, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Wait. So am I to understand that she is picking out the underwear of sister's
Who died?
husband's mama?
Yes, I actually may have sent it in when I was showing all the different documentation of this text that it's like, I'm picking out this old woman's underwear. Do you think she'd be upset if we put her on a thong and stuff like that? And I'm like, what? That's how detailed some of this stuff would get. And it was the weird details that you wouldn't think someone would include if they were lying is what she was including. So I didn't think anything of it.
Does that make, I mean, I think that makes it either a better lie or at least confusing enough.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard on the show, and that we've heard a lot. And I really think she told you she had to pick out the panties of her sister's husband's mama to be buried in.
And will she be mad if she was wearing a thong?
Oh, yeah, I swear.
It's a very interesting excuse that we have not had.
Oh, certainly. Just wait, because I'm going to give you some excuses because they just get better from here. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to get my pencil out.
Just start tallying up the deaths because if you notice, we're at 2 now.
I was going to say at some point I would be like, Kayla, you're my bad luck charm. Every time we make plans to hang out, someone dies or our pet dies.
Wait,
like
first it was the bunny rabbit.
Well, technically 2 bunnies, 2 weeks apart, potentially. Then there was the overdose.
But she didn't die, but
and her hemorrhage, father's arm. Who died first? Her
long-lost sister.
Long-lost sister, and now that sister's brother's.
No, this is a different sister's.
Different sister's husband's mama.
There you go. You're so excited over this.
I don't know, man.
I'm a very logical thinker. So I was sitting there and I'm like, okay. You would have to do that when you're like going to bury someone. Like you have to pick out everything. Like you have to pick the boxers. And so I'm like, she's really trying to figure all this out. But again, I had rose colored glasses
but why
on.
Does she have to pick out the underwear? It's wild.
She said that she always had to handle all of the problems in the family. It was wild. So all of that happens. I was considering trying to find the obituary for this. So I look up her brother-in-law's name. I look up her sister's name. Still can't find anything, but I'm like, whatever. She's just going to say that it's because they don't have obituaries again. So I'm like, whatever.
At this point, Orthodox don't do that.
Yep. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I was about 4 hours away from her and I am looking at moving closer now. So my job is putting me all over the state and my 2 largest offices are actually on either side of her, about 45 minutes away, either side. So this actually makes perfect sense for me to move closer. She had also said she wanted me closer because it'd be a lot easier for her to be able to grab dinner after work with me. So I'm like, yes, like she's planting the seed. I am 100% on board. And it makes more sense at this point because she's not able to up and leave. Her kids are in school. Her oldest is in college. Her youngest is about to graduate. Like she can't move, but I can. So I plan to go look at apartments. We were supposed to go look at them together. And then she tells me the day of that she's not able to. But at the time I was very hurt because I was really excited. I'm like, this is a big step in our relationship. I'm about to be closer to you. And at this point I've exiled my best friend because she just created this big issue in my relationship. I'm still very I don't have a lot of friends in the area that I'm at the time. So the only friend I have is like some from work. I work a ton, so I don't really have time to go out and make friends. So I'm like, it made sense to move, but I left my entire community behind. So I very much isolated and I agreed to do it. And when I would talk about my best friend, she would always make me feel like shit. She would be like, she ruined my life. She is the reason that we had such a hard time. She outed me. She was trying to get me to lose my job. I can't believe you're friends with her.
So she turns you against her.
Yeah.
Man.
I understood it from her point of view, but nonetheless, I end up moving over there and this is where red flags start happening is the first time she ever comes over to my apartment, she leaves all of her electronic devices at work. She comes in the middle of the day on a Monday, goes into work and says she's going to come up and then go back into work. So she comes and sees me. And when she comes and sees me, she's like, oh, I forgot my phone. But she brings her laptop from work. so that she can answer any work messages.
Oh!
I was going to say that the PI knows exactly where I'm going with this.
And she wants the location of that phone to be where they think she needs to be.
So I'm already suspicious when this happens. I'm like, do you want to go back and get your phone or anything? Because this is a woman whose phone is glued to her hand. So it was
That's
really
me.
weird.
If I don't have my phone, I'm having a stroke.
Me
Because
both. This is going to be a repetitive pattern. Anytime she comes over, she doesn't have her phone, and I'll ask her
That's
about it.
such a red flag.
And it was to the point where like she had her watch connected to her car so that she could call me still. So anyways, this goes on for a couple months. I've been living in this place now for 2-3 months at this point, and I loved it. It's coming up on my birthday, and she's like, I want to do something big for your birthday. So she's planning a big trip. But my birthday is in April, which is right around tax time. And it's also right around the end of the first quarter. So I get a percentage of my salary as a bonus. And she knew that because she had helped me with my new offer letter. When I got the offer, I had sent her the offer letter saying like, oh my God, can you believe that they're offering this to me? And so she knew I was getting a bonus at the end of the first quarter. So April hits and she tells me she's going to file her taxes. And this is right before my birthday. So she calls me right after she files her taxes and she is freaking out. She's like, you will not believe this. My ex-husband, he refiled all of our taxes from when we were married and I owe $12,000. And I'm like, my Lord, I don't know what you're going to do. She's like, I'm going to have to refinance my house. I'm going to have to take out a second mortgage. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do to support you right now? And she's like, there's nothing you can do. So the next time we talk, and this is like nonstop for days, her complaining about this money and that she feels like she can't sleep. She's getting sick over it. She has so much anxiety. I'm like, babe, I just sold the house. I have a good nest egg. I can help. And I was like, do you want me to loan it to you? Like, you can pay it back when you can. And she's like,
was there any point when you offered that you felt sketchy about it? Or did you ever feel like, oh, I know she's planting a seed? Or were you just like, it doesn't matter, I want to help her?
No, because she had always come off so proud. I really didn't think about it. And the first time I offered it, she actually said no. And she got mad at me. She was like, absolutely not. You're not giving me money. I'm not going to be in a relationship like that. I'm grown. I'll figure it out myself. Like,
reverse psychology.
Well, she's playing this really well.
Yeah.
She was mad at me, would not talk to me the rest of the night, mad, told me like how awful it was that I would even consider doing that. But at the end of the day, I'm just thinking long term, we're going to be together. I'm thinking forever at this point. I just assumed that at some point we're going to combine finances and what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. So I'm like apologizing to her and I'm like, I'm really sorry. And so finally she's telling me that all these things got denied and she's like, you're my only hope. You're my only option. And I'm like, again, I don't mind. Just tell me how to get you the money. She's like, I need $10,000. That's it. If you can just send it to me, you can wire it to me through my bank. I'll give you my bank information. You can put it in tomorrow and I'll pay you back when I get my Christmas bonus at the end of the year. So I loaned this money to her. And then for a week and a half straight, and remember, my birthday's coming up, she's picking a fight with me every day to the point where I don't even know what we're fighting about. Like, so she ends up breaking up with me 3 days before my birthday, before this big trip that she had planned. And after I had just given her all this money.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what is going on? I'm devastated. I'm sobbing. I can barely control myself.
Yeah, I would be too. That's horrible.
I literally was so upset. I called off work the next day. I just need a minute to myself. And it was wild. And so then she ends up coming over to my apartment that morning. At this point, we've been together for a year. And I'm like, are you really going to throw this whole thing away for whatever the hell we're fighting over? She had always told me she's too old to play games. Don't play games with her. So I'm like, are we really going to throw this whole thing away over some stupid fight? And so she agrees. She comes over. We cry. We make up. And we're going to go on this vacation. Well, the other big thing is at this point, remember, she had told me I was not going to be a secret and that her kids were going to know about me. Everyone was going to know that I existed and we were together. And that was her thing. So then we're on this trip together and we're sitting having lunch. We had just gotten in. We're having a drink by the pool. She gets on the phone with her kids because they had just gotten off school. And her oldest is like, yeah, did you make it okay? And she's like, of course I did, sweetie. And her oldest is like, okay, I love you. What are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm sitting here at lunch, and names a bunch of people that she works with.
Uh-uh.
I'm a little tipsy at this point, but I'm like,
no, she didn't.
I'm just looking around. And so I get pissed. I'm immediately like,
oh, okay. So that's how it is.
Like, literally, I'm like, okay, we're really going to do this. So she gets off the phone and she's like, your whole mood just changed. And I'm like, yeah, it did. What did you just tell your kid? And she's like, I didn't think it was anything serious. And I'm like, no. You told me that they were going to know you were on this trip with me. And she's like, they do. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
No, they don't.
Oh, girl,
No
I'm like,
way.
I know that they don't at this point. I'm like, you're still keeping me a secret. So later on that night, we go and have dinner. At this point, I order 3 more drinks. You're paying for this shit? Come on, like, I'm gonna get a little drunk. I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
good buzz after I just heard that. So we go to dinner that night. I am pissed. I am upset. I'm genuinely devastated at that moment. Absolutely devastated. So I was trying to still make the trip not horrible. So that happens. We go to dinner that night, and she tells me that her kids know we're together, but she won't tell them that we're together simply because they get really upset. She's afraid that her husband's going to take custody of them. Again, they're grown children at this point. Like, they're the one's about to turn 18, and the other one's going to turn 20.
Is she worried about custody? That's weird.
Well, exactly. She's like, they're going to go live with their dad and all this other stuff.
Honey.
She's like, so I'm just trying to keep it very hush hush. I don't want to throw it in their face. And I'm like,
Okay,
well,
fair.
Do
I
you think that's
guess.
fair, Mackenzie? You've
in
dated someone who had kids before, and you've obviously had kids while dating. Like, how do you feel about this?
I could understand because I put myself in Ryan's shoes and I could see being like, hey, I'm not with that person to your children.
But that doesn't require them to lie to you, the partner. They could
No,
tell the
no,
partner.
I would tell my partner, I would say, hey, I like to tell Ryan that I'm doing something else just because he's really uncomfortable. But that's something I would be open about.
Yeah, but can I also bring up the fact that her kids are also 17 and 19? Like, how old is
You know what? Ryan's 11 and these kids
different.
are adults. So yeah, that makes a big difference. That's true too.
And that's where I started to get annoyed with it, because I just started to think she was coddling them. Like, she was a helicopter mom, like, to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have kids, so I was really trying to be understanding and respectful of them too. So the next morning we go and we have a great time. We go to dinner that night, and she's like, you know what? You're right. I need to let the kids know how important you are in my life. Their birthdays are coming up. Her youngest was going to be turning 18 and her oldest was going to be turning 20. And she's like, hey, let's do a lunch right in between the 2 birthdays for their birthday. I always would send her a message on their birthday and say, hey, let them know I'm wishing them a happy birthday. So she was like, let's make sure that they know that you care about them too. And I was like, oh my God, yes.
Meeting the
so,
kids.
like, exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was on cloud 9. I was texting my best friend from work, and I'm like, she's going to let me meet the kids. And so I wanted to get them things that I knew that they wanted and liked that would mean something. I really dug in and got them really specific gifts, and I go and search for all this stuff, and I put them all together and everything, and I have them sitting in my living room because I'm looking forward to this. It's April. I think by the time all of this stuff came in, it was mid-May. We were supposed to do it in the middle of June. I'm asking her nonstop, when are we going to do this? And she's like, I'm still talking with them. They're open to it though. They want to meet you. And then June comes, and I'm like, so what's going on? And she's being super sketchy about it and just not giving me concrete stuff. And I come to a point where I'm like, am I going to meet them or not? Just tell me realistically, am I going to meet them? And she's like, yes, you're going to. You just need to be patient. I'm going through some stuff. So she starts distancing herself a little bit at this point.
Oh no.
Because she doesn't like the questions you're asking. It's uncomfortable.
Probably. I'm like getting to this point where I'm fed up all over again. I'm like, I just moved my whole life over here for us, for our future together. I want to meet your kids. I want to be involved in their life. Something's got to give. At this point, it's been about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. Everyone in my family knew who she was. They knew I was with Aaron. I was even telling people at my job that this was my person. And I was proud to tell them that I was with her. She was very much part of my life, and it just didn't feel like I was part of hers. So it's the middle of July, and she calls me out of the blue, and she's on a work trip, and she's like, I need you right now. And I'm like, I'm just getting off work. So it's 7:00, and I'm like, well, where are you? What do you need? And she's like, I need you to come here. I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, okay. So she's 4 hours away from me, and I'm not going to get there until midnight. And then I got to turn around and come back for work the next morning. I can't
Also,
miss
what
work
is she
tomorrow.
talking about? Like, that's a crazy thing to do, to be like, drop everything, come 4 hours away, and then I'll talk to you in person.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
thinking.
Just break up with me now. Like, I don't want to drive 4 hours.
That's where my mind was going. And so I call her, and I'm like, what is going on? She's like, can't you just try to find a flight over here tonight? So I do. And she's like, you told me if I ever said I needed you, you would find a way. And I'm like, I will drive there. If it's seriously that serious, I'll drive there. And she's like, I need to talk to you. It's an emergency. I need to talk to you.
Who died? Somebody died.
Oh, sweetie, just wait.
Oh my God. How do we, if you tell me, come to me right now, like I'm going to be like, tell me, like I'm not, no
Yeah.
way.
We've got FaceTime. Like, we can talk about things over the phone, especially if they're emergencies. I mean, I guess we'll find out next week what it was, and maybe it's justified, but I would lose my mind.
I mean, I could understand the, like, if you're like, "Listen, I really wanna talk in person. Can we please get together? Yeah, let's get together in 30 minutes," or, "Yes, it is possible for me to come in 4 hours. I'll be there," whatever, but it just feels a little manipulative.
I see. Yeah, I think you're right. And they're long distance, so it's like that's part of the
Yeah. Cut me
there's a
some
lot
slack.
here. I mean, the fact that we started with like a mean boss bitch kind of vibe and then turns into
Yeah.
this, I'm just so not into Erin. But we'll get more into the dogfish debrief after part 2 because what if you're new to us, what we do is we like talk through what we could learn from the story and what went on, some behaviors, some red flags, or just some things that really pissed us off. It's our little debrief. It's our vent sesh.
Make sure you come back for part 2.
It takes a turn you won't expect. It's crazy.
Yeah, just wait till you hear the end.
So we've got a week. So you tell us how you're feeling.
Yeah, give us a halfway there update and let us know what your prediction is going forward now that you know a little bit about this dogfish.
We're all the social medias, Dating Detectives podcast. You can comment and tell us what you're thinking. If you want to email us your story, investigate at thedatingdetectivespodcast.com.
You're welcome to share. We would love to hear from you. And again, please join our Patreon. We continue the conversation there. Also, we'd love to have you. And thank you again for your support and for waiting for next week. Sorry, not sorry.
If you have any questions or things you want us to talk about, let us know because we're always in touch with our guests, and we also pass along when you send messages of support to them. It means a lot. These are real people who are like very brave to share their stories. So thank
Absolutely.
you for being supportive of them. We will be back in a week. We can do it.
With the rest of it. And until then,
As
as
always,
always,
trust your femtuition. Please, good God, trust it. Please.